for our NEWSish Roast special edition. My name is Scotty and I am the floor manager / director for this show. So we are just about ready to go. Thank you for hanging in. We had to make sure everything was technically right. So, Pete, are we about ready to go?
God, I hope so.
All right. And we're going in 5, 4, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your anchors, Tim K and Jessica Loria.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Hell yeah, damn straight. Welcome to the NEWSish Roast of 2015, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, woo, goddamn right. So it's been a big year.
It's been a huge year.
It's been a really great year.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
How was your year?
It was great. I moved in with a lady. It was cool so far. And I got a new job. It's
Nice.
been great. How about you?
Great year. I moved in with a guy.
Gross.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do dishes.
Oh.
It drives me crazy.
Okay. Well, tonight is not going to be a traditional roast with stand-ups making fun of each other. We're going to be kind of roasting events from the year. We have special guests coming in to talk about the year, events from the year, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. A lot of stuff has happened in 2015.
Yeah, for instance, Star Wars The Force Awakens opened. Awesome. Yeah.
The Supreme Court finally legalized gay marriage.
Yeah. Pope Francis visited Washington, D.C. Very cool.
All right. In New York, a couple of prisoners busted out of prison and went on a nationwide manhunt. We got stopped. They searched our car.
Literally searched our car. It was awesome. The Force Awakens opened.
The U.S. women's national team won the World Cup.
Yeah. 10 girls, 1 cup. Yes. Bill Cosby was indicted today.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
The U.S. and Cuba have finally resumed diplomatic relations.
Yeah.
So, go eat your cigar.
Yes. And The Force Awakens opened this year. Awesome. Are you guys ready to have a good time tonight? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tim K.
And I'm Jess Loria.
And this is NEWSish! Headlines, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, the state of Michigan put a 50-day hold on the liquor license for Comos. Oh, wait, this just in. Word, we have word that they actually have their license again. So now you can have a drink while waiting to get food poisoning.
California entered its 4th year of drought in 2015, forcing residents to cut back water use by 25%. This includes steps like not watering the lawn, taking shorter showers, replacing water balloons with wine balloons, and learning to love the dry slip and slide. A state of emergency was declared in Flint, Michigan this month after toxic levels of lead in the water continue to poison children. Unfortunately, the effects of lead poisoning take years to manifest, eventually leading to behavior problems, learning disabilities, and antisocial behavior. Equally unfortunate for parents who might be considering legal action, these are all also side effects of growing up in Flint.
President Obama's tweet celebrating the legalization of gay marriage was one of the top 10 most retweeted tweets in 2015. Obama was one of only 2 world leaders to crack that list, and the rest of which, and this is totally true, was made up of One Direction members. Meanwhile, Joey Fatone is still trying to get followers. Bye. 2015 was... let it sink in. 2015 was a polarizing year. Families were destroyed over politics as the Republicans ran further right and the Democrats just yelled louder, hoping finally to be heard. But there was one event that this year that truly tore people apart, pitting brother against brother, friend versus friend. And I'm talking, of course, about the dress. Was it gold? Was it black? Was it blue? How do lights work? Why can't I trust my eyes?
This year, Pantone has released for the first time 2 colors of the year, rose quartz and serenity. When reached for comment, a blind man said, "Who cares? All I see is fucking black. It's always black." That's so sad.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Research firm NEWSish has said that Facebook is the most popular app this year, with 126.7 million users per month. This is right ahead of the next most popular app, Sexy Nude Feet Tap Jewels, with 500 users per month.
This was a really great year for completely batshit politics. Seriously, when we started, yeah, let's see you guys. When we started NEWSish in July, we thought Donald Trump would be out of the race by now. Nope, he's actually still the goddamn Republican frontrunner. At the most recent GOP debate, every other candidate was afraid to call Trump out for his blatantly racist ideas. But the thing is, I bought a website, guys. It's 2pumptrump.com. I'm paying $12 a month for it, and I'm not afraid to call him out. So check it out. Yeah, you can go to it on your phones, share it with your friends. Look guys, okay, I'm not unreasonable, I'm not a terrible person. There are a lot of other jobs that Trump could have where racially profiling people is encouraged. He could be a casting director, a TSA agent, a Ferndale police officer. I don't know, it seems right. Pick one of those, Trump.
All right. At this time in the year, we use the phrase "out with the old and in with the new." Right. So in 2015, had its fair share of phrases and vernacular, and we here at NEWSish hate these phrases. The following phrases need to die. Turt. Bay. Bucket. Beast mode.
On fleek. Done with that. What does that even mean? Hella. Really? Are we still using that? Basic. Done with basic. And hashtag.
Basic is so literally basic.
Yeah. And those are just a few. But we also wanted to come up with some bold predictions on what next year's retired phrases are going to be. So get ready. You're going to hear these all the time.
Yeah, so we just made these up and we have not heard these from each other.
No. This is for us.
Next 2016 phrase.
Yeah.
Skittled.
Okay. 2016 hot phrase is going to be stir the mac and cheese. It's the sound of sex.
Blasty.
Ooh.
Also the sound of sex.
I've got defrost the turkey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
How about hot phrase? It's going to be a hot phrase.
Shump is going to take off.
Shump?
Shump. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Squirrel dicked. Yeah, it just means getting drunk.
Yeah. No. Take it to the basement. That's when you have to leave the room to poop.
Those are the phrases. Those are the phrases.
Speaking of all things 2015, please welcome our first special guest tonight, Colin Bridges, with his.
First of all, I'm super excited to be
be a part of this new shit 2015.
It's NEWSish.
What'd I say?
New shit.
New shit, yeah, who cares? Alright.
Oh boy.
Alright, first of all, Adele had probably the biggest song of the year called Hello. It was that song about breaking up with the boyfriend, and she's writing all these songs about, Adele, he doesn't like you. Get over it. How many songs are you gonna do trying to get this dude back? You know, if I did what she's doing, I would be considered a stalker, a creeper. But when a British Rolo does it, she's an icon. Who cares? Oh, there's a big movie that came out this year. Started in the 1970s. It was the 7th movie of the franchise. So y'all know what I'm talking about. I didn't see Creed, but I'm glad still has his acting talent. That's not the only movie of the 7 film and franchise that came out this year. There was another little movie that came out called Furious 7. Alright, Paul Walker. Oh, it's Star Wars. Who cares? Killing me. It was that photo of that stupid dress that no one could decide what color it was. You guys talked about that a minute ago. I'm going to bring it back up. Was it white and gold or was it black and blue? Well, it was white and gold until it was transported to the photo session by a cop, and then it was black and blue. Yeah. Honestly though, did you see the picture online? It was clearly blue and black. Unless you're colorblind or a brain tart, then maybe.
You can see it.
Personally, though, the color doesn't really matter to me. All that matters to me is that it was easy access. Am I right? Okay. Then there was that AFC Championship game, aka Deflategate. The air pressure scandal that rocked America. Someone let a bunch of air out of all the New England Patriots balls. It was like January and it was cold. That's what balls do in the cold. They shrivel up. I don't mind you. Hey! I know Tom Brady claims he had no part in the scandal and didn't even realize the footballs he was throwing were underinflated. Yeah, right, Tom Brady. Sure, okay, yeah. And Bill Cosby thought he was giving all those women Flintstone vitamins. Okay. Who cares? What a slide ball! Amy Schumer was on the comedy scene this year, trying to prove that women in Hollywood can be funny. She tried. You know who was 100 times funnier and more fun to watch than Amy Schumer and only made one appearance all year? Fucking Pizza Rat. Had to carry that slice of pizza to the New York subway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a pizza from Little Caesars. You got the $5 hot and ratty. That was a little cheesy. Who cares? The gold medal as Bruce Jenner died.
No, wait.
And then his hot girl sister Caitlyn came out of nowhere, capitalized on his death, and now has her own fucking show! Who cares? We have a serious gun problem in our country, folks. And whether you're pro-gun or anti-gun, I'm not here to debate that. All I know is we need to get shit under control. Kim Kardashian had another baby! Who cares? Call it, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of energy. Somehow. Back to headlines, you guys. Last week, the popular brand Hello Kitty suffered a data breach that exposed 3.3 million users' information. And by users, I mean 22-year-old Asian women and 35-year-old gay men. Really, my biggest question is how or why the Hello Kitty website had 3.3 million users. Is there like a newsletter we're not getting? Oh, what's Kitty up to this month?
I just need more information on those backpacks.
This month, a Florida woman at a nudist resort was stabbed by an attacker while walking in a trail in the woods. Okay, first off, walking naked in the woods sounds liberating at first, but then realize how bad a mosquito bite on really any part of your body would feel. Second, is nowhere safe? If you can't be free enough to not get stabbed at a resort for the nude, I don't know where you can. I don't know. I don't have any idea. It's too sexy. That's what that is.
Those nudists are heroes.
Right, no. Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, in weather news, we've broken another record with not only the warmest month in history, but 2015 will go down as Michigan's hottest year ever. And in response to the warming weather, my uncle told me to take out my window air conditioner and turn it around so that it cools down the atmosphere. He also told me, don't be a chump, vote for Trump.
For the first time in recorded history, a tornado struck Michigan in the month of December. The twister hit last Wednesday night in Canton and was on the ground for about 2 minutes. There were no injuries, but we did get word that Billy Stackovitz dropped a meatball at IKEA.
Last week, residents across the southwest United States had a slight panic attack as several fireballs streamed across the late-night sky. The official report says it was an old Russian satellite which was scheduled to fall earlier in the year, but that didn't stop a group of Christian cults from stripping naked, running outside, and proclaiming, "Jesus is back for his birthday!"
There was a lot of really amazing space and science news, you guys, in 2015. Provided, of course, you're not the chair of the Subcommittee on Space and Science and Competitiveness. You know, like Ted Cruz. That's not a joke, that's true.
That is true. It's terrifying. 2015 was like a nerd's dream come true, only with a lot less Ghostbusters. Let's start with some news from Earth.
A brand new species of early human was uncovered in 2015. Dubbed Homo naledi, the species was uncovered in a cave in South Africa. Scientists are still unclear on why the species went extinct, but the best guess is that because its brain was so small, other species eventually just wised up, stopped listening to it, realized how dumb it was until it crawled into a shame cave and died.
Turbo nerds who never gave up had their moment in 2015, when a 15-year search for water on Mars ended in victory. NASA scientists proved their commitment to commitment and were finally able to confirm the presence of liquid water on the red planet. Meanwhile, the director of NASA now turns his attention to an even more elusive creature, seeing boobs in real life. This year, we made it to the edge of our solar system. This is Pluto we know today. It took 9 years for the New Horizons spacecraft to make it there, fly by, and send back some amazing images. It must be comforting for Pluto to know that even though it's no longer a planet, it's still worthy of a few pics.
Yeah, that's like sort of how I feel when my exes send me Snapchats of their penises. It's the same thing.
Another major moment in space, Rosetta. No, not that one. The Rosetta spacecraft took a little lander called Philae and dropped it on a comet. We landed on a fucking comet, guys.
Yeah.
We landed, yeah, one of those. Yeah.
On a comet. Oh my god. Yeah, alright, that feels right. Guys, we have fun. Yeah, we have photos. Photos on the surface of a comet. In the days of our ancestors, people would see a comet, panic, and issue great proclamations of doom and despair to come.
Ah, this is the end! This is the end! Right?
I guess some things don't change. We also learned this year that somewhere out there is a star that has something circling it. Something big.
It's not my penis.
No. Something big. Something big. Well, you're Polish. This star, KIC 8462852, that's its real name, it's catchy, got the entire world excited about the prospect that we're not alone in the universe. When studies from the Kepler telescope and home observers showed the star had several large objects circling it, bigger and more frequent than any planet, the internet erupted in theories of board-like megastructures, siphoning solar, wind, and energy to power their more advanced civilization. Unfortunately, when scientists turned their attention to listening to the radio and laser signatures from the star, all they heard was a vast, massive background noise with no discernible intelligence, or the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Okay, this guy has been on the International Space Station for all of 2015. That's more consecutive days in space than any American has ever spent. In this time with his time on the ISS, Captain Kelly has captured many photos of the Earth, like this one, and this one, and this. Welcome to Earth. Okay, well that's all the news from space that we have for this year, except for the biggest space story of them all. As if this year wasn't already jam-packed with nerd delights, The Force Awakens finally arrived, crushing box office records and setting a new record for making the most grown men cry at once. It wasn't hard to get all caught up in the hype until this happened.
Thank you, good night, and may the force be with you.
Ruined! That's the sound you hear is millions of nerd boners deflating at once. And that's it from Space Inside.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to bring out our next guest. He is NEWSish's photographer. Please welcome PJ Jacob. Good. So we understand you brought a video of some of your work this year?
Yeah, well, the past, for 2015, I've been traveling around the whole globe, really. I mean, all of the continents I can make it to, and to take photos. And this is a collection of my work from this past year. So I'm pretty proud of it.
Great.
All right, yeah, roll it.
Welcome to 2015. I'm PJ Jacobs. You may know me as a local improviser or that chubby guy from the Little Caesars. Tonight, we take a look back on the year that was, 2015, through the eyes of a wizened photographer such as myself, to see what the world looks like.
Everyone deserves a chance. A job to keep my girl around.
Right later, come in right later. Come in right later. Oh my God, I'm in Star Wars. You guys, I'm in Star Wars. Blue leader. Come in, blue leader.
So let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man. I get less. So let me go.
What the hell?
You didn't take any of these photos.
Any of these?
They were all on my phone. In fact, you guys were in some of my best photos.
I don't
It's
know.
the truth, like when Jess quit One Direction,
Alright, yeah.
or when Tim broke the internet.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, PJ Jacobs.
PJ Jacobs, everybody!
Oh God, back to headlines?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Representatives from 196 countries met in Paris this year to discuss halting global warming. They agreed on a number of measures to reduce carbon dioxide, hoping to limit global temperature change to 2 degrees. This is really huge, you guys. 196 countries came together to fix climate change. And then meanwhile, Americans can't even get over a red cup at Starbucks. It's priorities. Hey, Tim, I got a little joke for you.
Okay, great.
What did Greece and I have in common in 2015?
What?
We're both overwhelmed by crushing debt.
Late this month, Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, released a calendar featuring him, and this is totally true. You can buy them, and he's posing for each month with everything from puppies to horses and flowers. He's even captioned one month saying, "Dogs and I have very warm feelings for one another." Seriously, it's in the calendar. Unfortunately for the calendar, November 16 is this one. It's a Ghostbusters joke. A man in Russia is claiming that the new video game Fallout 4 is so addictive that it cost him his job and wife. He's suing Bethesda, the game maker, for a whopping $7,000, which, to be fair, can get you pretty far in Russia, unlike the airplanes. That's funny, fuck you.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to deliver a keynote speech at the 3-day World Internet Conference, which doesn't sound like a thing that's totally made up. No, seriously, last week I went to the Global Pizza Convention. Chinese cybersecurity chief Liu Wei explained that the country's internet isn't censored, but managed carefully to protect the business and reputation. Under these guidelines, the Chinese government wouldn't let their people see ChineseGov.sucksballs, GreatWallOfBoners.com, or didn't like ForceAwakens.net. Sad.
You know what? It's been a big year for pop culture, movies, music, and television, and Jess and I are too busy running this show to actually watch or listen to anything, which is why we turn to our NEWSish pop culture critic, Lauren Kozlowski, everyone.
Hi. It's great to have you here.
Great to be back.
Now, Lauren, sorry to spring this on you, but every year we give back with our Make a NEWSish Foundation,
Okay.
where one single child gets to co-host a segment here on NEWSish. And tonight, we picked your segment. You know, you're a real hard-hitting critic and you've got strong opinions, so we thought it'd be really fun. So please give it up for our winner, 9-year-old Spencer Betancourt. Spencer!
Give it up for Spencer!
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Jess and Tim.
Yeah, thank you, Spencer.
Who's this?
This is Lauren Kozlowski, he's our pop culture critic.
Ow! Very excited to be here. What's wrong with this guy?
So Spencer, I understand you're largely bedridden due to rickets?
It's actually aggressive rickets. And yeah, it's kind of like my bones are going to war with each other, and my body's the only casualty.
All right, Okay, so Lauren, lots of great movies came out this year. What was your pick for the best?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, best movie of the year, without a doubt, Mad Max Fury Road. Incredible effects, incredible performances. Charlize Theron, like, iconic as Furiosa. I mean, it's just such a good movie. And, I mean,
I'm sorry. I didn't get to see Mad Max because there wasn't enough room in the theater for my chair.
Spencer, what was your favorite movie this year?
Oh wow. Probably a toss-up between San Andreas and the Entourage movie. San Andreas was great because it's The Rock literally going to battle with a rock, the Earth, if you will. And I thought it was cool, lots of good effects, and I like The Rock, that's all.
I mean, I know you didn't see it, but I mean, you should see Mad Max. It's an incredible film. I mean, the effects are amazing. I mean, you think like people are really getting killed and hurt. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Why would you want to watch people be hurt?
I don't. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying I enjoyed San Andreas because I knew The Rock was going to make it out A-OK the entire time. And I never once thought that Vinny Chase and the gang would make it out hurt, so that's why I liked it.
You know, those are, you know, pretty rote and predictable films. So, yeah.
Well, Lauren, sometimes I wish life was predictable.
Move on to television. So many people say we're in the golden age of television. Lauren, what was your favorite show this year?
Glad you asked. Best show this year, Mad Men, final season. I mean, just incredible. John Hamm finally won his Emmy. I mean, it was so good. And I mean, just week to week, I was like, where's the show going to go? You never really know where it's going to go. They're really good series finale. So Spencer, what was your favorite show this year?
Oh, thank you for asking. Oh, gosh, you know, my parents can't afford basic cable on the account of my very expensive rickets medication. That's why my favorite television show of 2015 was season 4 of Everybody Loves Raymond. There's a wonderful episode in season 4 where Raymond can't find his car keys. He can't find his car keys, and he keeps the car keys. But then Brad Carey comes in. And the thing's now who? And he finds out it's at his parents' house. And they live across the street, if you didn't know, which is a hilarious recurring thing of the show.
We're familiar. Everybody here knows that show.
If you're familiar with the show, then why wasn't it your favorite show of 2015?
Because it didn't come out this year. Mad Men was the best show this year.
Wow. You know, Mad Men, Mad Max. You sound like a pretty angry person, Lauren. You have so much to be happy for, too, like your bones working together.
Let's close this off with a talk about music. Lots of artists had a big year in 2015. Drake, Kendrick, Adele, Taylor. Lauren, what artists do you think had the best year?
I mean, well, all those artists had incredible years, but for me personally, I mean, the artist I listen to the most is Future. He's this rapper from the South. He had this incredible album called DS2. Obviously, a lot of fans in the room. And really great album. And actually, also, he put an album out with Drake this year, which was also really good. So, yeah.
I love Drake from Degrassi. Which album did he do with Future? What's it called?
Oh, it's called What a Time to Be Alive.
Is it, Lauren? Is it?
You know what? You're not really that sick. You just have rickets.
Oh, quit yelling at me. I can feel my sternum fracturing.
Calm down. He's just a sick kid. He loves movies and music just as much as you do.
Oh, no. This guy's taste is crap.
Oh, Jax, his words are physically hurting me.
tell us, what was your favorite album this year?
Oh, my favorite album this year? It was probably Kid Rock's album. It was called First Kiss. I don't know if I'll ever First Kiss.
No, fuck this! Yeah, fuck Kid Rock and fuck you and your shit taste!
Thanks, Lauren and Spencer!
Where are we going? Where are we going?
The popcorn can't be beat.
All right, back to headlines. The air pollution in China has gotten so bad that wealthy residents are actually buying packaged air. Yeah, like in Spaceballs, for real. The air isn't purified or bottled in China. No, it's coming from Canada. Our question is, will the air you breathe be dependent on how much money you have? So the wealthy Chinese, will they get to take the sweet Canadian Rockies, while the children making our iPhones are lucky if they get to breathe the air from Windsor?
In February of 2015, the FCC approved net neutrality, awarding the efforts of activists led by HBO's John Oliver. By March of 2015, we'd all forgotten what net neutrality was or why it was important. I'm just going to tell you.
This month, 80 people were sickened from eating at a Chipotle in Boston. In other news, what did they expect? A man with devil horns and the words "fuck cops" tattooed on his face was easily identified by Nancy Mudd earlier this month. When asked to describe his attacker, the victim replied, "Look for the hottest guy imaginable."
I feel like I wonder how his job interviews go.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a degree in business management from Cornell, and a master's degree in accounting, and 7 years experience in the field, and proficient in Microsoft Office, but my biggest question is, do you really want to fuck cops? I love all of you guys. A YouTube post by Howie Mandel went viral last week after the comedian posted a short video of himself incoherently mumbling after a surgical procedure. To be fair, most people thought it was just a clip of his current stand-up.
Speaking of stand-up, we have our first of our stand-up comedians. Please give a hand for Brett, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Brett!
Hello! Hey! How is everybody doing? We made it, 2015. What a time to be alive. Boy, that really came and went like that Martin Shkreli guy, right? Do you guys ever remember it? Thighbrows? Nothing? Those are all those. Thighbrows were cool, we could do that in 2016. I just feel like more disconnected from the news than I've ever had in my life. Like, we get news in a different way now, like Facebook and stuff. Like, for example, this year, I didn't expect this to happen, but I got mad at people who got mad at people who got mad at people for changing their Facebook profile pictures to the France flag. And supported people who were victims of people who got way more mad than I did. It's weird, I don't know, I just didn't I watch the news. News come down. I learned my news from people being pissed off about it on Facebook. I feel disconnected. I don't really feel like I really lived 2015. So, like the other day, me and Bae were Netflix and chilling, and I was trying to figure out the best way to get my hoverboard to also be a vape. So I can vape through the 6 with my woes. And I said, Bae? And she said, yeah, Man Bae? Man Bae didn't happen, did it? I was like, what happened this year? Do you know? And she was like, no. So we hotline bling danced over to my computer, and we looked it up. We looked up what happened in 2015. And luckily, we found this article. It was a list slideshow. That said, 15 things that you forgot happened in 2015, you ignorant millennial piece of shit. It's like perfect. It's a fucking news site that gets me. I love it. There's a lot of things that happened. Fuck the police. That happened. Even more so, fuck Sting's normal material, solo material. That's not really a this year thing. It's kind of an every year thing. Fuck the police all the time. It's fine. They're not a band anymore. Vaccines. Oh, vaccines were huge this year. People love vaccines this year. Yeah. I don't think that you should vaccinate your children now. I know it's an unpopular thought, but I just say, like, let a doctor do it. They found water on Mars. That's pretty cool. Water's great. You guys into water? Yeah. You know what's better than water? A thinking robot on Mars? Holy shit. It's way better than water. I'll drink Pepsi all day if I could just ride around one of those things. What else happened? Bill Cosby, bad year for him. Also a bad year for some random guy whose name is Phil Cosby. So every day this guy goes to work and people are like, he's like, yeah, I read it. Opens up some Jello and he's like, just shut up before I say anything. What else happened? I should say, if you're worried about Star Wars spoilers, please get a life and see the movie. All right, see the movie. Get a life, see a movie. Knew that wouldn't work. Bernie Sanders is huge. San Bernardino was huge too. All the letters of Bernie Sanders make San Bernardino. Only remaining letters, ironically enough, NRA. That's not even true. I don't even know if that's true. It's weird, Bernie Sanders, holy shit, like, it's weird to say this as a liberal in 2015, but I want that old white guy to be president next. Forever. Last thing, you guys hear about the fat Jew? You guys know about this? He's a joke theft. People got really mad at him for stealing jokes and putting them on the internet. But the story behind this was, as a kid, he was bullied a lot. People were like, we hate you, fat Jew. It's weird to say, I know. But what happened was, this is his origin story. People were like, what's wrong? Can't take a joke? That's the big punchline. All right, everybody, you guys want to be a better comedian? All right, this guy is awesome. He's, you can see him at the New Way bar over there. His name is Blaine Hill. Yeah! Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm gonna talk about 2015 just to change it up here a little bit. You guys hear Subway? They had to fire that Jared guy, right? He got into some business there, so they had to get rid of him, right? But they replaced him with an actor. Do you guys know who Tony Hale is? He was in that show Arrested Development. He played Buster. He's like kind of a doughy, chinless guy. Bald, wears glasses all the time. So they just replaced a pedophile with a guy who looks a lot like a pedophile. Like, if there was a Lifetime movie about this thing called Footlong of Danger, and they got Tony Hale to play Jared, you'd be like, yeah, totally believe that. I totally see that. I get this. Like, if you're Subway, you gotta distance yourself from this thing, I would think, right? You gotta hire a big, burly, masculine guy to do this, right? This guy looks like he fucks adults. Get like Jason Statham in there to cut his sandwich in half with a chainsaw or something like that. Get away from the Joey Child Predator types, you know, with beady eyes. And I don't know. That Trump guy is still going. How does that happen? Do you guys know? Like, he literally made fun of a handicapped person and he's still killing it. Like a lot of people are like, yeah, I really like Trump because he says what he thinks. Yeah, but what he thinks is stupid. Like those people should shut up. I don't want to hear what they have to think. Like I don't care. Like, do you really want a guy who says what he thinks as president? It's probably gonna be a lot of N-words, I would imagine. You can't just be saying that all the time. You can think it, but you can't say it. Some good news though. Pretty sure we haven't had a mass shooting in a couple days, right? Woo woo, yeah. Like someone has to take a thing that looks a lot like a gun to a high school so these kids can compete in a sport that's not going to make them any money ever. How does that happen? I don't know. But I'm scared of those open carry people. Is anybody not scared of those open carry people? Alright, cool. That's usually how I figure out who has a gun. Yeah, I mean, they always have those like camouflage baseball hats. They're not like the snapbacks or the one where you put the thread through the like, you know what I'm talking about? Those ones? They're not, it's like a belt. They have all their opinions on their belt buckle, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be scared of you holding an AK-47 in line at CVS. I'm not very confident that you're a good guy with a gun, you know? I think it's weird that, like, the NRA pro-gun, I gotta have my gun people are not in support of the same people who are, like, against police brutality. I think that's a very weird thing. Because, like, that's why NRA people say they have to have their gun, right? In case the government gets so crazy, they start killing American citizens without oversight or accountability, right? Like, that's why they say they have to have their guns. Yet I've never heard when a kid gets killed because he's holding a super soaker, oh man, if only that kid had a real gun. This would have never happened, right? If only that kid had a real gun. All right, I'm going to end you on that. Thank you, guys. Very funny guy. Give it up for Andy French.
What's up, guys? You guys are just like right here. It's cool. That just means I can't. I'm gonna use your table. Thank you. How we doing, guys? It's a good year. Yeah, even you're apprehensive. It was a bag of turds, wasn't it? It's a shitty year. Oh, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, man. Right? Woo! Don't woo that. That's weird. 2015. I figured I would do current topics because it's the whole point of the thing, right? Did you guys hear we have a black president? I don't know if you watch CNN. I don't know. I like Obama. I think Obama's been a pretty good president up until now. Anybody with me? Yeah. A bunch of people from Warren are here, though. How's it going, guys? These are my friends from high school. They came out of nowhere. Like, their New Year's resolution was to see me for the first time in 15 years. They're from Warren. This is like going to the Louvre. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Obama, though, right? Like, I think he's done a pretty good job. Not everyone agrees with me. It's okay. This is America. You're allowed to do that. It's fine. That's a good part, right? But everyone says that the Republicans ruined Obama. Like, it was all on them. And I'm a liberal, guys. I gotta disagree. Liberals ruined Obama. They did it. I'll tell you the second it happened. He got into office. 2 months later, there was a petition with over 1 million signatures to make him stop smoking. You just, literally, we just gave that man the hardest fucking job in the world. Give him a fucking Marlboro! If you're like sitting there right now being like, wouldn't it be a Newport? You're a little racist. A little bit. You thought it, I didn't. I just feel like no one's happy with Obama, whether you're like Republican or liberal, like everyone, like, why you gotta give him such a hard time? He did pretty good. Guys, I'm a comedian and I have health care now. That's... Yeah, no, I do.
We got a $6,000 deductible.
Oh, man. You have just enough money to be pissed off right now. I don't have any money. Also, not improv part of the show. I'll give you another one if you want another one. Anyone notice that gas prices from 1992 are back? Is anyone enjoying that?
Yep.
I took a trip just for the fuck of it. No one's paying attention. This is my third one. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite Obama, like. He basically crushed Russia's economy this year. Right? No one's really talking about it. The only thing that's falling faster than Russia's economy right now is like every 5th plane that leaves Malaysia. If that's too soon for you, go like 3 years back. It's been happening for a while, guys. I don't understand how we're still losing commercial airlines. Like Amelia Earhart's flying these things. I don't understand. How is that okay? How is that okay? We put a man on the moon over 50 fucking years ago. Right? That's a moon. They're always like, we can't find the plane. The black box is at the bottom of the ocean. We're pinging it. It's 2015. You're telling me I can't? We don't have shoot the black box out of the back of the fucking plane technology? Like at this point, I feel like if the pilot just threw my Samsung Galaxy S5 out the window before they hit. We'd have a better chance of finding the fucking plane. Google knows where I am, and they know what coupons I want. All the time! I think I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys have been delightful, and please give it up for everybody that's been up before me. I would love to say that I just made this up for this, but I didn't. Everyone else did, and that's insane. And so thank you for having me out, and please give it up for these two guys, my favorite people in the world.
So we wanted to talk about, while we have you guys up here, we wanted to bring up one topic that is kind of all close to all of us, is we want to ask you, is Detroit back? How do we feel about the rebirth of Detroit?
It's been here, it's just changed.
Yeah.
I think it's like, you look at the Hopcat, right? They have graffiti on all the tables, but they had to hire people to put the graffiti on. They could have just made their drinks like $3 cheaper, and then all those people would put the graffiti on tables.
I think Detroit is symbolized by hiring Shepard Fairey to make this beautiful mural of graffiti and then arresting him for doing the exact same thing where they
I love, Hopcat. My favorite thing about when they opened, their first special was crack fries. The first 100 people that showed up to Hopcat got crack fries. And there was like a crackhead on the front of the fucking building being like, wait, there's a fry version?
Okay, you know this huge
now it's something for you to eat. How do you feel about gentrification?
I did it. I did. I lived in Detroit and Hamtramck for a while, and then I bought a house out here, and I was like, I felt like I was doing the right thing. Like that's like gentrification feels so wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like just the word gentrification sounds so awful. And I was like, oh fuck, that's me. And so I think I moved out to Ferndale being like, you guys got this.
Yeah, but
foreclosures are cool.
A white guy bought your place.
Oh man, my place actually. I will say that definitely a white guy owned my house before I moved in, because it came with a giant bar that blocked half the hallway in my living room, and it was just cemented in Budweiser playing cards with a giant sticker in the center that was very sparkly. That just said, fuck yeah.
Give it up for Brett, Blaine, and Andy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and check in the latest updates from our friends at the Hallmark Channel.
Hallmark Channel's Cat Center brings you a Kid Bowl 3 update.
The 2015 Combine took place this week, and scouts from the Feline Football League came out to look at all the athletes. Welcome to Cat Center, I'm John Sterling.
And I'm Mary Gorilla.
While many kittens napped, others showed off their agility, tackling, and teeter-totter talent.
A fiery furball named Howie Longhair wowed the scouts with his feather-swatting ability. And John, check out Rob from Cat's in the tire room and his perfect paw placement. But the mouse run left him a little busy.
Tiny Tabby Coles showed off his tackling talents, dominating the sleds. What an amazing combine this year.
No kidding. Join us next Monday as the picks of the litter are reviewed at the 2015 draft. For Cat Center with John Sterling, I'm Mary Carrillo.
For more Cat Center updates, go to catcentertv.com. And don't miss Kid Bowl 3, Sunday, February 7th at noon, exclusively on Hallmark Channel.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Here's my co-anchor.
Oh, hey, sorry, I was in the bathroom. So Hillary Clinton here, and you thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pee, I just like Hillary.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
It's embarrassing.
no, it's fine. One person got that joke. It's fine.
Good God. Oh, Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. Caitlyn Jenner, you guys, revealed herself this year, making herself a de facto spokesperson for transgender people everywhere. Unfortunately, she's actually a terrible spokesperson for transgender people because she wants them to accept her gender, but still doesn't think gays should have equal rights. Which I know, sure, just because she happens to be transgender doesn't mean she has to speak for all of them. Much like I don't speak for all women when I say having sex with Tim is really great.
Love won in 2015 when the U.S. Supreme Court finally legalized gay marriage, making us the 22nd country in the world to stop being bigoted assholes.
The popularity of the Netflix drama Jessica Jones proved that, contrary to everything we've been led to believe, a lead female superhero can carry a show, unlike a female's ability to carry a mattress. Very heavy. Our next guest is no stranger to the limelight, though sometimes it's been more favorable than others. Please, to give us a year in the Duggars, please welcome Anna Duggar.
Welcome, Anna. It's been quite a year for the Duggars, hasn't it?
Oh, it sure has. Our show, 19 Kids and Counting, just finished its 10th season.
Okay, but so did anything else happen this year?
Yes. My wonderful sister-in-law Jill gave birth to her first child, Israel, in April. And then, in November, my other wonderful sister-in-law Jessa gave birth to her first child, Spurgeon.
Are those even real names? Okay, so did anything else happen? Anything at all?
Come on.
You must be talking about little old me. In July, I had my fourth precious blessing, Meredith. She's precious and a blessing.
Okay. So nothing else happened with the Duggars this year? Nothing?
Oh, do you mean the pasty, hypocritical elephant in the room? Oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, you know, Dana, we're really sorry to hear about
Yeah,
it.
oh, no, don't give me that shit. You were all waiting for Josh to fall off his high horse, just like the rest of the world. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. He has been spouting anti-gay hatred disguised as family values for years, with, you know, neglecting to mention the whole inappropriately touching his little sister's thing, you know, like at all. Oh, don't forget about the whole sanctity of marriage between a man and a woman and his Ashley Madison account. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you have some, you know, understandably, some really strong reactions.
Yeah, I do have some strong reactions. You know what? Try growing up in a repressive, tight Christian faith that says sex is bad, but you have to put out on your wedding night right after you have your first kiss in front of 500 fucking people.
Wow, that's 200 more people than my first kiss.
Yeah. You know what else? Maybe if Josh would have had a healthy understanding of sex when he was younger, we wouldn't all be living in this horror show right now. Right?
Yeah, you know, it's really sad that it was all swept under the rug. You guys were brought up in a really repressive environment.
Yup, sure was. Yeah, look at me now. I have 4 kids. I have a husband who's doing Christian therapy, you know, which didn't work when he was a teenager. And I belong to a faith that says I'm not allowed to work outside the fucking house. It's so nice. Oh, and guess what, Josh? It's my fault too, because I wasn't a good enough wife for him. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't the porn star that Josh needed. Yeah, it's fine. Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Look, it's good. I got 4 kids. I am going to continue to ride this Duggar Dog and Pony show, which is not a nickname for Josh. At all. More like Caterpillar show, if you know what I'm saying. You do. But look, don't worry about it, okay? I'm gonna have my in-laws, they're gonna support me and my kids because it's partly their fault I'm in this mess, okay? You know, who thinks that sending their kid to go help build a house is going to cure him of his sexual misdeeds? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what? I need a cigarette. Where's Andy French? He'll give me a cigarette. He really will. Oh my God.
Anna, I know you're distressed, but you shouldn't smoke in here at all.
No, guess what? You guys don't have to worry about old Anna. Alright? No, I'm doing me this year. I'm good. I got my kids. Guys, any guy in here, I'm gonna touch your balls. I'm doing me. Yeah, I wanna get teabag. I brought a teapot. And you know, I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing pants. Everything is coming up Anna this year.
Thank you, Anna.
Holy crap. You guys, John Boehner met the Pope this year and then declared his life a victory, so he stepped down as Speaker of the House, leaving only a trail of spray tanning lotion behind him. After a lot of drama, Paul Ryan became the new Speaker, which is great for Ryan because this is the closest he'll get to the presidency. It's true. It's a little 2012 joke.
We need to take a moment out of our show to applaud all of the hard work the Michigan House of Representatives accomplished in 2015. why earlier this year they asked us to vote on a referendum to fund fixing the roads, and we said, no thanks. How about you do that with the money we already gave you? And so they did, and they passed the bill with 0 Democratic support that will totally fund fixing the roads in 2021 by taking money from our schools. This sucks, which is fine because kids are super greedy. You know, they're always like needing things like good teachers and current textbooks. But don't worry, the legislature had other victories as well.
Yeah, they made it harder for same-sex couples to adopt. They reformed campaign finance, so it's harder for schools and local governments to educate the public before voting, because why should you know what you're voting for? And you know what? They made life harder for unions. At one point, the Republicans actually used old arcane rules to threaten any senators who left the chamber with arrest. On the last day of the year's session, they voted to recess, waited for the Democrats to leave, locked them out, and passed a law making it harder to vote. No, seriously, all this happened. It's actually almost amazing they found time to have sex with each other in between all the screwing our state they did. Shame on you, Republicans. Shame.
A government oversight report issued in November revealed that the U.S. government has paid $6.8 million to sports teams over the past few years in exchange for those patriotic military displays we've all witnessed at sporting events. If you've been to a game, you've probably seen one. What you thought was just the team honoring our national heroes was actually an impressive way to make money. For real. And this is something national teams are really hurting for, I'm sure. And while trying to make themselves look good. And this is ridiculous. In a completely unrelated story, we'd like to take a minute to recognize the men and women from Go Comedy's resident company in the crowd tonight. Proud to be an American, living each night of life. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave their life to me. Take a bow. We're not fucking around, do it. Thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Our next segment, you guys, is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Marjorie Sampson.
Sarah has had trouble with the door. So, 2015, huh? Another crazy year in sports. Around the field. The U.S. women's soccer team, they won the World Cup this year, huh? Yeah. Right? Yeah. On the men's side, though, corruption ensued in FIFA, real bad. Let's see. More and more domestic abuse violence cases came out in the NFL, with more people basically saying, who cares, because in the future they're all going to have mental problems, get their dues because of concussions. The Kansas City Royals in baseball, and the Golden State Warriors in basketball, they all won championships for their hometown. Decades of drought. While shitty teams like the Lions kept their droughts going. UFC fighting champion Ronda Rousey. She got her ass kicked. And her face. Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in sports this year. There's also a lot of bad. Nothing was more egregious, perhaps in the history of sports, than deflating.
You mean the Patriots being accused of cheating?
What? The Patriots cheating is hardly news at all. No, the mainstream media was stopping the story from surfacing, but thanks to real news stories like this, the truth will come out. Of course, I'm referring to a local scandal that took place in 2015 early. See, my whole life, I love sports. They're a big part of my life. And nothing made me happier than playing flag football. That is, until the stay-in-play social club captains had a secret meeting and kicked me out of the league. Their reason? Deflated football. I thought the pigskin could handle the hooks. but I was wrong. One game got so bad he had to switch to softball. They kicked me off. I was crushed. Without flag football, my life was over until recently.
We understand that had a little something to do with a letter from MSU football head coach Mark D'Antonio.
That's right, that's right. My family were huge Spartan fans, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're lots of graduates?
No, we're just big fans. No one in my family went to college. Which is weird because you'd think we'd be Michigan fans.
Okay, right, so tell us about the letter.
Well, Coach D, he does these letters all the time, but usually they're for sick kids with cancer. But he caught wind of my story and he got hooked.
And you have the letter with you. Please share it with us. You guys need some help? Sure, yeah. Do what you gotta do.
Dear Marjorie, when I heard about what happened to you, it really shocked me. It probably felt like the way U of M fans felt when we stuck them in the big house. Anyway, that's bullshit. Don't let them get you down. Remember, reach higher, Coach D.
That's nice. So how did this letter inspire you?
Well, you see, Coach D, his mantra is reach higher, and it just clicked with me. I needed to do something for good, which is actually why I'm here, so I can participate in the first annual Detroit Dunkathon for a really good cause to raise money.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, what's the charity? Cancer, AIDS, the homeless?
No, it's for me, so I can get new hooks. You see, really good hooks, they're on the top shelf. So Coach D was saying, reach higher for the good ones.
Okay, why, this might be insensitive, but why wouldn't you not just get, like, prosthetic hands?
Prosthetic hands? I'm not a freak. So anyway, I looked into it, and I'll be damned. The top shelf hooks, they cost a lot of money. They're really expensive. So I needed to find a way to pay for them. So I thought, how can I do this? And then I got another letter. Only this time, it was from future Hall of Fame MSU basketball coach Tom Izzy.
Oh, okay, and we assume you wrote that letter too.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, please take it out. Sure, yeah.
I see that snap come out of my head. It's real hard to blow your nose.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad you went with the pirate pants too. Yeah, the pirate. Sorry.
All right. Everyone on your show?
Yes.
All right. Dear Marjorie, Coach D told me about your situation. I agree. That's bullshit. Hey, you should go to Dunkathon fundraiser and I'll pledge to donate $500 for every dunk you make. Okay, bye, Coach Izzo. Oh, so ever since Coach Izzo made that pledge, I started a website for more pledges, and all these sports figures started pledging, and they left me all these great messages. So you guys know Serena Williams, the famous tennis female star, right? She pledged $20 a dunk, and her message to me was, I hope you have better luck in your Grand Slam competition than I did in mine. Yeah. Oscar Pistorius, he's the South African amputee Olympic gold medalist. He's also a convicted murderer. He donated $100 a dunk, and his message to me was, us nubs got to stick together. This one was amazing. American Pharaoh, the horse that won the Triple Crown for the first time in 37 years. $2,000 for every dunk.
He pledged.
He pledged.
The horse pledged.
Yes, and his message was, hooks and hooves forever. I love you, American Pharaoh. And Pete Rose, the famous Cincinnati Red Star, most hits in baseball. He only pledged $1. A really nice message. He said, I know what it's like to be banned from something that you love. I'll bet you can get back in. So many pledges, but I'm not here for more pledges. I'm here to dunk.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, then let's do the dunkathon. Right. Let's do the dunkathon.
God. Guys, there were a lot of insane political stories this year, and we're going to recap all of them in the next 2 minutes.
Very fast.
Strap in.
In 2015, Hillary Clinton was found to be using a personal email server for government business, in which some pundits call the most menial muckraking story of all time. Honestly, if we're going to be this upset about Hillary's emails, I don't want to know how the world will react to her Tinder account.
Donald Trump claimed in November that he saw thousands and thousands of Muslims cheering tailgate style after 9/11 in New Jersey. You know, it's really not Trump's fault. Everyone knows that eyewitness testimony is unreliable. He probably saw something else from around that time, and his brain remembered it as Muslims cheering in 9/11.
Okay, so what do you think Trump saw when he attached it to his memory as 9/11?
Guys?
I just want to hear Eminem.
It's about the same time. Also, this month, Trump dropped probably his biggest bomb on the American public, that as president, he would ban all Muslims, even American citizens, from entering the country. Okay, well, if Trump can make outrageous demands banning things from the country, you know what? We have some demands, okay?
Okay, demand number 1, topless Tuesdays! Think about it, guys. You get to see boobs, ladies, no bras!
Number 2, guys, dicks out Thursday afternoons, okay?
Yes!
Even women don't want to see a weak ass dick.
Nobody wants to see that. Number 3, no Ed Hardy, ever.
Number 4, ban those hoverboards. Come on, they're dangerous. Mike Tyson got very hurt.
Yeah. Number 5, unlimited screwdriver!
Y'all ready for this?
That is some good.
That is good.
That is some good bottom shelf liquor.
Oh, good God. All right. Guys, we give the Republicans a really hard time because, well, that's easy, honestly. But this month, the Democrats had their debate, and it was drier than my high school sex life.
Did someone just say, go, oh shit? Like they know.
Oh, dude, this is my problem. Guys, we're not saying smart is a bad thing, all right? We love smart. Smart people are great. It's refreshing because the Republican debates were just like, who can bully louder? So it's nice to have a real conversation with real politicians. But holy snooze button, Batman. Okay? Hillary and Bernie made Syria sound more difficult and dull in the terms and conditions on iOS 8. Yeah, read those. We're not interested. You guys are trying to win votes from Americans. And Americans like to vote for things that are coached by Adam Levine. Okay? You have to dumb things down for us. This is a country that needs McDonald's to remind us that coffee is hot, so we won't try and sue them when we spill it on ourselves while texting, driving, and shoving in the grill in our face hole.
It's about this time in our show that we'd like to reflect back on some of the presidential candidates we lost already in this election season. And as you know, earlier this year there were about 25,000 people vying for the Republican nomination. And even one of those was a woman. Yeah. But there has to be one to rule them all. So let's take a moment to say goodbye to the losers who have already dropped out.
Will you remember me?
Talking this last night. Had to redo that slide. Don't worry, all right? That leaves us with 13 really fine choices for the presidency, okay? Look at great options. Look at those guys. God, so attractive.
Oh. And honestly, I'm bummed out I'm burned out of the 2016 election already, and it's not even 2016 yet. That's insane. Election season should not be longer than the gestation period of an elephant. Give politicians a chance to govern before they have to worry about running again. America, you're embarrassing yourself. My advice, if you have an election that lasts longer than a year, you need to see a doctor.
Right there. 2015 brought a ton of ups and downs, you guys, and we want to talk about them in our next segment. It's called Heroes and Douchebags. All right, we'll start with Michelle Obama. Flo just released a rap song this year. She balances all the duties of First Lady with some sick beats and makes it look easy.
Hero! Bill Cosby. Turns out while he was charming all of America on the Cosby Show, he was sticking his pudding pop in a lot of drug women. Douchebag!
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Motherfucker wrote a hip-hop musical about Alexander Hamilton, okay? That's everyone's favorite U.S. currency dreamboat.
Hero! Patrick Kane. More proof that the best way to avoid rape charges is lots and lots of money and scoring goals. Douchebag!
Todd Corson and Cindy Gamrat, Michigan representatives who got some business done in the House this year.
Heroes! Paul Ryan's beard. Finally, a Speaker of the House we can take seriously. Hero!
Jared Fogle. Ruined the phrase $5 footlong.
Douchebag! Martin Shkreli. He raised the price of an AIDS drug, bought the only copy of a Wu-Tang record, and then awkwardly live-streamed himself sort of talking about it. His only redeeming quality is that he was eventually arrested for securities fraud. Douchebag! And the NEWSish audience! You guys stuck with us through a lot of unfunny punchlines. Heroes!
This is Ameriguns. That's our feature. What's happening here? We weren't going to do a feature tonight.
But 75 minutes is a long time, and we don't have that many friends.
Yeah. No, it's just us. We're American. And if I'm going to take that one thing that really needed addressing after this year, the one thing that stood out among all the big news stories, you know, that there's the election, and then there's the legalization of gay marriage, and the fact that Florida's manatee count is at an all-time high. Go manatees.
No.
Yeah, the story that really sticks out the most this year is guns. But you gotta talk about guns.
Gotta do it.
So get ready.
Here it comes.
It's happening.
Buckle up.
You can't avoid it. And I don't want to sit there and talk about banning guns or regulating guns or whether the Holocaust would have happened if the Jews were armed. So we should talk about those things, even if sometimes we can't see eye to eye. For the record, Ben Carson, I don't think weapons would have made much of a difference against the German army, just as I don't think Americans need to be armed to the teeth to stave off a very unlikely scenario in which our government attacks us.
Much more likely, genetically altered apes. Terrifying.
Earlier this year, Ben Carson said he never saw a body with bullet holes that was worse than losing our right to bear arms. I disagree. I want to say I respectfully disagree, but that's a lie because it's not respectful, and I'm not really even sure it's fair, but right now, after 329 mass shootings in the last year, I think fuck guns.
Okay, Go Comedy does not encourage or endorse you to literally fuck guns.
But even though it fires me up, and though I could sit here and spout statistics and facts and try my damnedest to convince you, and it could work and maybe not, why the arguments are wrong and why the NRA is purposely fueling dangerous citizenry, even this is not what we need to talk about. Tonight I just have one question, and that question is why? Why is the U.S. the only place in the first world where this keeps happening? Why do Americans keep so violent? In a way that the Japanese can't or that the English don't. What about living here makes us so scared all the goddamn time?
Racism.
Yeah, look, if we're going to have the conversation about regulating guns or banning guns or the semantics or intentions of the First or the Second Amendment, we have to address the why. And the why is our misguided national pride. For some reason, we all operate under this assumption that America is the best place to live.
Fuck yeah, USA! Yeah! I'm gonna fuck the country! Yeah! Kid Rock! Kid Rock Budweiser!
We act like the U.S. is under constant threat. It is a great place to live in many ways. I'm not saying it's not. And there are genuine threats to our country and way of life, though they are neither as common nor as likely as we've been led to believe. But when you feel you are the best, and that any other country is or idea is anathema to what you believe, that's when it gets dangerous. The reason we're all so scared and cling to guns is that we, as a country, not as individuals, are terrified at any second of losing the American way of life, as if offering free education or healthcare somehow makes us weaker instead of stronger. The more we fear, the more we grasp for anything to allay those fears. And here in the U.S., that's guns. We buy guns by the thousands, hopeful that we'll sleep better at night, afraid of threats, foreign, domestic, or imaginary.
Like genetic apes.
And to be clear, I'm not saying they're not valid threats, but honestly, the notion that more guns will make us safe is ridiculous. The notion that we should be this scared is ridiculous. It's not a way to live. Think about it, okay? The U.S. was born in revolution, and for some reason, we still can't let go of that. We have the biggest military in the world, by far. National defense is like our #1 favorite pastime.
Closely beating out our other favorite pastimes, like social media trolling, McDonald's all-day breakfast, paying women less than men,
Love it.
white guys.
We have a violent culture, and so we're violently going to protect it. Anyone even mentioning that maybe this isn't the best way to live is chastised as un-American. We're a nation of stubborn cowboys, and while that's worked for us in the past, the side effect is that we're just as trigger happy with each other. Our national identity is all about remaining tough, projecting power. Other worldviews are considered inadequate, even absurd, and because we subscribe to this belief we're the best, we constantly feel threatened. It's a combination of narcissism and insecurity that makes it impossible for us to even have a conversation about change. And it needs to stop, guys. Because look, I don't pretend to have the answers about guns. I have my opinions, obviously, and I have the facts, but I don't have the answers, all right? But I do have the willingness to come to the table, to set aside fear and put down weapons and make America great. Not make America great again, but really, truly great in a way we've never been.
Hold for applause.
Oh.
Hold for applause. Everybody, whether you think we're smart or just obnoxiously liberal, we want you to contact your representatives and senators. For real, even if you disagree with everything that you're saying, giving out your opinion, we think is paramount to the American experience. But if you're against guns, tell our representatives and senators here that you want background checks, stricter regulations, but don't be discouraged because you're just one person. The real pussies are the ones that stay at home and genetic apes. So on your tables, there's a slip of paper. It has information on how you can contact your senators and representatives. Give them a shout.
Yeah.
And that's the feature, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the end of our show, which means we are going to bring back an old favorite of ours, a game called Ameritech. So these guys have just gone through 2015 about everything that's going on, and now they're going to have a little bit of a debate to end our show, just like we're going to see a lot of debates over the next couple months. They're going to debate things that are topics that are going to come up next year. So one of them will be debating how that topic is destroying America. The other will be debating how that topic saves America. So we're just going to do a couple. I just need something that's going to be in the news next year. Cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers. And go. Cheeseburgers are destroying America because they're making our children fat and they're killing off our beef population as if beef is an actual animal. Hamburgers are clogging the nation's ability to think and feel.
Okay, look, guys, cheeseburgers are the thing that is going to save America, okay? Because one, they're delicious. Two, 2, I can fit more than one in my mouth at one time.
Challenge! A hamburger isn't the only thing you can fit more than one in your mouth at the same time! Talking dicks.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Challenge! Putting dicks in your mouth is gonna save America.
Challenge! Challenge! Only for some of us. Hamburgers are destroying America, ladies and gentlemen. They are not the staple food that we should be eating all the time. They are filled with fat.
Challenge!
Okay.
No, you see the food pyramid? Cheeseburger hits on every one of them. It's got fat, it's got meat, it's got probably vegetables in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's got dicks.
Okay. All right, guys, who did you think had the better argument that time? Was it Jess? Or was it Tim? I think Jess won that round. What's another topic that's going to be in the news? Something fun like that. What was that? Babies! Babies! Babies at home.
Oh crap! Guys, babies are destroying America. Because, oh my God, they cry all the time. And they're always like asking for things and you don't know what they mean. And they demand a lot of your attention, and if you're paying attention to a baby, you can't pay attention to the real issues that are affecting America.
Challenge!
Yeah.
Babies are saving America because they're going to grow up and be the leaders that we all, God, I hope they will be, because this generation is fucked. We have nothing. We have no Social Security. We have hardly jobs. We are probably, most of you are probably still living with your parents. I just moved out like a year ago.
No, incorrect. Babies are destroying America, and here's the proof. If I turned to Tim right now and told him I was pregnant, he would freak the fuck out. Okay?
Challenge! True! Who won that argument? Was it Jess? Or Tim? That was all the guys. That was all the
The other
guys.
guys were a little louder, so I'm going to give it to Tim.
Yeah!
Last round, what's our last topic?
Potholes.
What was that?
Potholes.
Potholes! Potholes! There you go.
Potholes are destroying America, 1 foot by 1 foot. They're destroying our cars. They're destroying the motor fucking city, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. They're destroying our cars. People are falling into them, breaking their ankles. They can't go to work.
No, potholes are saving America, okay? One, you have to get your tires fixed, and that puts money into the economy and people that make cars. Two, driving over them real fast kind of feels good.